These principles I've taught you in this course work well for all children, especially those who experience anxiety, OCD, high-functioning autism, and ADHD. Getting a proper diagnosis can sometimes be challenging, and although my job is never to diagnose a child, I have been able to help many parents find the right avenue for their child because of the many different diagnoses in my own family. I work regularly with children with the diagnoses I've just mentioned and have found that cognitive behavioral therapy, which coaching includes, has been so very helpful for children who suffer from emotional dysregulation, impulsive thoughts, and overwhelming anxiety. Here's just some basic information that may help you if you have questions about your child's behavior. More and more children and adults are being diagnosed with ADHD. When most people think of ADHD, they think of a hyper boy running around the playground, pulling a girl's hair, or not following directions. However, for girls, ADHD usually shows up in the classroom on their test scores and not through hyperactivity. In fact, many children with ADHD do not experience hyperactivity. We are finding that many patients with ADHD experience hyperarousal rather than hyperactivity, which is excessive energy that goes inside and out of sight. It can manifest as insomnia, multiple simultaneous thoughts, impulsivity, emotional overreaction or dysregulation. And children with ADHD or ADD struggle with repetitive rogue type work and can really struggle in today's standard school system. Many times they receive labels such as lazy, bad attitude, hyper, inattentive, disruptive, a bad student, unmotivated, or even stupid, which can be very damaging for any child. Children with ADHD are creative and tend to be some of the smartest kids, but they cannot get their brains to do things that they are not interested in. They are not motivated by what other neurotypical people are motivated by, and they cannot force their brains to do things just because it is important. They are motivated by their own interests. If we can find what motivates them, what interests them, they can usually accomplish anything. Another thing is that almost all ADHD patients will suffer to some degree with something called RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria. RSD is extreme emotional sensitivity and pain that is triggered by the perception that one is being rejected or criticized by important people in their life. Dr. William Dodson is the expert when it comes to this topic, and he says that most of his clients explain this emotional intensity as feeling like a wound. Whether they encounter real or perceived rejection, criticism, or teasing, it is extremely painful. When this emotional response is internalized, it can imitate a full major mood disorder, complete with suicidal ideation. These experiences can be debilitating for someone who suffers with RSD. Now, someone with a major mood disorder may have very different symptoms, such as having mood changes without a trigger at all, a mood change that lasts 2 weeks or longer, and the mood is independent of their circumstances. Those with depression, ODD, or bipolar disorder can fit into this category. There is a difference between having tantrums or fits and showing defiance and having a real mood disorder that causes mood shifts for long periods of time. Children with autism do really well with the model because it teaches them how to get in touch with what they are feeling, something that does not usually come very easily to them. It expands their black and white thinking and forces them to look at things from a different perspective that is not so black and white. So, as you can see, understanding what is really going on with your child is so important. And outside of a diagnosis, recognizing that understanding the brain and the control we can have over our thoughts and feelings is usually the first step. Once a child starts to feel some control over their emotions, the anger and embarrassment goes away, and it opens up a space for learning and for transformation. For more information about coaching, online programs, one-on-one coaching with me personally, and how my program can help your family, please visit jerrysouth.com, where you can schedule a free consultation and get the information that you are looking for you or for your child. And be sure to print off the free guide I have created just for you on the 10 habits for raising a healthy and responsible child. I hope that this free course has given you some valuable tips and ideas on how you can start connecting better with your teenager. After years of working with families, I have found that parents who are willing to start with themselves always have the most success in creating change in their relationship with their child. Thank you for being here and for allowing me to be a part of your family's solution.